my.
He's waking up. Quick, nurse! Hey, you were out for quite a while. A lot has changed, but we can talk about it later. Welcome back. Good afternoon, sir. How are you feeling?
A little worse for wear, but fine.
You can thank your team for that. Physical therapy is mandatory for all patients.
Thanks, I guess. What happened after the blast?
Sir? Do you really want to get into that right now?
I'm not going anywhere.
Fair enough. I'll come back after rounds and we can talk. Cheryl will cover for me. Glad to see you're still up and sitting up.
Thought you may have forgotten when the walls got quiet.
No, sir, things have changed a lot.
So I keep hearing. Have a seat. Everything still looks and feels the same, minus the damage.
Yes and no. See, at the time of the blast, you'd be hard-pressed to find an honest government, faithful employees, or anything or anyone honest and good. People were fighting over serious things and little things, and honestly, a lot of it was because of fear. Various types of it. The regular fear that keeps you safe, and the dangerous one that drives people to kill or give up. When the incident occurred, the people were forced to pick up what they wanted, to continue as they were, or to be rehabilitated.
You talking about mind control?
Yes and no.
What do you mean yes and no?
Let me finish. It's a surface level of mind control that does not give anyone the controls except the person themselves. It gives us all a stronger sense of self-control. Addictions were no longer a problem, and you could adjust your fear levels to remedy your actions. Initially, the implants were not quite used right, and the side effects were quite severe. Similar to burnout, people just kind of went into a dream state and was no good to anyone for a few months. Thankfully, there was so little to go around that no one was in any position to be passed up for work. So even in their dream state, they could do basic things like carry things from point A to point B. They became couriers and clerks, of course only assistants, because they couldn't really think for themselves. Special laws protected them from being used as animals, and it was severely enforced, because people.
Man, people suck.
In a manner of speaking.
What happened to those who didn't choose the mind control option?
Sounds so bad when you phrase it like that. Well, they were given a place to live where they had a fresh start and could build their lives in the traditional way. We still do business with them and so on, but in order to live here, you need special permission or the implants. It's not really normal here. Before you ask, no, you have not been given the implants. The law clearly states that everyone has to be given a choice on whether they receive them or not. If someone requests it, they are examined for their skill set, which you pass no problem, and of course allocated a place to stay, job, etc.
Wow, things have changed. What made you guys put me up here instead of with the people who didn't choose the implants, though? Sounds like that would be an easier way to go, economically.
Yes and no. You were initially put up in a field hospital and got moved with other invalid patients. The people in charge of the search and rescue wanted to give everyone the best possible chance at survival.
What's wrong? What happened to the rest?
They didn't make it. When the people were split, obviously families were separated. Survival instinct, I guess. Some were moved to be with their families and set up in an old barn. It wasn't the best, but it breathed and the animals had run away and it had doors. One night, looters came and torched it, supposing they would find drugs like morphine inside, not knowing that it was an invalid ward. The best they found was rubbing alcohol, but 30 people unfortunately died. That's just the number of those that were at the same hospital you were.
How many? I mean...
This may seem harsh to say, but according to the guidebook on your specific trauma we received, you simply cannot blame yourself for being here or others for not. It just is. You were obviously kept safe for a reason, and I'm sure we'll find out soon enough what that reason is. I have to get going. Chat some more later?
I guess.
Don't look so down. No one will force anything on you, and you're not guilty of anything. Live however you choose. If I don't see you again today, sleep well. You have your first participatory physical therapy tomorrow. Good morning, sir. Awake already?
Please just call me... What's my name again?
Well, according to your chart, it is Robert. So let's call you Rob or Bob. Which do you prefer?
I think I prefer...
Bob it is. Let's go. Everything okay?
My sister is here when I woke up and she hasn't come back yet. It's only been a day, but I can't help but wonder.
If she took the implants?
Yeah.
Does it really matter if she did? Did she not demonstrate free will in that she stood by you, despite the odds against you?
Yeah, but I can't help but be concerned that somehow people could be manipulated in subtle ways, like brainwashing.
Now we're getting into the uneasiness, are we? There's really nothing to be concerned about. Hold the elevator, please. Everything is fine. Thanks. I'll give you a simple explanation on how it works. They implant 2 chips that stimulate certain functions. Add or take away information. Simply alter the chemical responses to the incoming information. You can roll over onto this chair, please. It'll help you stand up. Now when you're up, I want you to try and walk, step by step. You may feel off balance at first.
You were saying...
Alright, they simply alter the brain's response to incoming information from the senses. One is implanted by the frontal lobe, since that contains your personality for the most part, and one is placed near the center of the brain where the main response or checking station is for choices on how you will respond. The settings are only... Oh, great stuff! You've already taken like 3 steps.
Keep talking.
Right. You can configure by profiles how you wish to respond to certain types of news. If it's news that is going to stress you out, the system can only adjust your association with the incoming information, positive or negative, based on the intensity you've set it for. I wouldn't recommend setting these settings yourself unless you fancy yourself a clerk's assistant. Well done, 3 for 3. And lean into the chair. That's it. Done. Great stuff. I totally took a chance on asking you to walk on the first day, and you did fantastically well.
Thanks. So, is there any way someone could hack your mind through the reaction controls?
No, because it doesn't transmit any information into the brain's network. There is no access. You need special surgery for that to be possible.
So it is possible.
Yes, quite, but unethical to say the least. There have been a few isolated incidents where questionable people did that, but they were disbarred and their messes fixed for the victims, and they've received compensation and all their medical needs covered. It doesn't make up for the trauma, but certainly makes coping with it easier. To answer your previous question in the room, yes, your sister took the implant, so she could take better care of you. Despite the economic improvements in a new world where people all work together, at least in one section of society, this level of healthcare is not entirely free. Go figure. Guess you just can't seem to have your cake and eat it. A blast from the past, indeed. Elevator up. Indeed, I'm glad to see your sense of humor is intact. I do have to bring the mood down a smidge, though. Because you are in good shape and you're mentally clear, your stay here will not be long. You're going to have to choose which way you want to go. To chip or not to chip. No one will force you, and you won't be kept from seeing your sister. But personally, having gotten to know you all of 2 days, you'd be happy and fulfilled here. You can continue your research, and quite frankly, you'd probably find cures to most of the diseases that still plague this world. You'll only find hardworking, loyal lab partners in this city. Just imagine. Whatever you decide, I'll help you arrange it. Comes with the job. Thanks.